Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football, and it's a big signing, and this time it's for Liverpool. They've got Szobozlai. I've probably pronounced it wrong, but he's coming in from Leipzig. He's 22 years of age, and they've paid the release clause. Here we go. It's interesting, isn't it? Because we spoke about this yesterday, and there was a lot of doubters in the chat. I've not seen that we're linked to him. Where are you getting this information from? And as I predicted, if Liverpool are in for him, we'll know very, very quickly if they're going to get him. One, because I think his release clause runs out after today. And two, because Liverpool don't mess about when they're in for players. It's very, very quick. I think this is a fantastic signing. Obviously, as a Manchester United fan, I don't think it's a fantastic signing when your biggest rival is strengthening. But I think the profile of Szobozlai is really interesting. I think the profile of Alexis Mac Allister is really interesting. And I think the profile of Liverpool's midfield last season was weak. I actually think the front players were criticised a little bit too much when the service was dreadful. I think the defence got overexposed because of the midfield as well, and probably got a little bit too much criticism as well. You've got people like Mo Salah. I know Diaz was injured a lot. There's Jota, there's Nunez, there's Gakpo. They've got good attackers, and I think now they're building a midfield that potentially could really get Liverpool back racing next year. And remember, Liverpool don't need a massive amount of fine-tuning. They are still a lot of players and a coach and a fan base that is used to fighting for the Champions League and the title. And if Klopp can fine-tune that midfield, because games are won and lost in the midfield, then I think Liverpool are looking very good. And remember, this will not be the end of Liverpool's spending. They know that midfield is weak, and you can expect another player to come in, Thuram from Nice. So Thuram, Szobozlai, Mac Allister to add into what they've already got in there. And I think Liverpool are looking very good with a lot of depth. Now, of course, will all three players be a hit at Liverpool? It's difficult. You know, I always say this on United Stand on here as well. When you look at transfers through history, whether it's Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, or any other manager, if you've got a 70% success rate with your transfers, you're doing very, very well. But I like Szobozlai. It surprises me that I've seen people on social media saying he's just an expensive James Ward-Prowse with an exotic name, and I'm like, yeah, you don't know anything about this player, do you? There is a risk taking a player from the Bundesliga who's never played in the Premier League before. Of course, there is. That has to be acknowledged. But you know, I'm not saying that everybody has to watch and monitor European football and upcoming players. But if you don't and haven't heard of Szobozlai, I'd wonder where you've been. He's been a very... I remember back in the Euros with Hungary, people were talking about him then and his potential to be, something really, really special. And let's not forget, the Euros was before the World Cup. We're talking, was it 2 years ago, the Euros? So, look, he is a well-known up-and-coming talent. Now, whether he will deliver that talent is yet to be seen. But the fact that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp think that he's the right fit for them and they're willing to play a release clause. I mean, remember, Leipzig have got no say in this. Some Liverpool fans think maybe they should have negotiated, but we spoke about this yesterday. You hit that release clause today and Leipzig can do nothing about it. You wait till Monday and you try and negotiate, and you're in the hands of Leipzig, who might say, well, you know, we want more than the release clause. So I think Liverpool might have overpaid a little bit, but they probably had the nod that this was as cheap as he was going to get, and therefore now was the time to pounce. And it's not going to be preventative to them going and getting, you know, a less attacking midfielder in someone like Thuram. So I think they've got a nice balance. I mean, you could argue that you could play a brand new midfield three there. You could literally play Thuram, Mac Allister and Szobozlai as your midfield three and crack on. Obviously, I don't think that will happen. You've still got Jordan Henderson will still be there. I think Fabinho's probably going to still be there. Maybe Thiago goes. They've got Cody Gakpo's not who I'm thinking about. Curtis Jones had quite a good end to the season as well. So look, it's an interesting signing for Liverpool, and I think it's one that, you know, is he the sort of player Man United want? No. Is he the sort of player that Arsenal want? No. Is he the sort of player that Man City want? No. But I think he's the sort of player, and that's not because he's bad, by the way. I just think sometimes this happens, you'll know it, whoever you support as well. Sometimes you know your club doesn't need that position, but you'll see a player like this go to Liverpool or wherever, and you'll go, that's a really good signing. We can't make that signing. We don't need a player in that position. but that's a good signing for them. It's like Man United, isn't it? If we buy a really good striker, then Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal could look at it and go, well, we don't need to buy a striker, but they've just bought a really good striker there. The goalkeeping situation, if United sign Onana, he's a very good goalkeeper. I said that if he was going to go to Chelsea, he's a very good goalkeeper. So people can look at that. Liverpool don't need a goalkeeper. Man City don't need a goalkeeper. But it could strengthen Manchester United. So yeah, look, I think he's... Look, Alexis McAllister's Premier League proven from Brighton. You'd expect a little bit more consistency and hitting the ground running from him at the start of his Liverpool career. I think with Szobozlai, there's potential there. He's got to adapt, he's got to learn, and he might have a first season like Darwin Núñez. You know, he might not be a player that goes straight into the Liverpool team and hits the ground running. There's a bit of pressure there, but look, is it any different to Antony from Ajax? We spent a lot of money on Antony. He didn't have a rip-roaring first season. It was okay, it was good in parts, he got a few injuries, but United are looking at it, and United fans are looking at Antony in his second season. So I think with Szobozlai, age profile, talent, potential, you know, if he can hit the ground running first season, absolutely incredible for Liverpool. But he might be a grower, not a shower. You know, he might be a player that takes a little bit of time to develop into his Liverpool career. But I do think it's a really good signing, and it is a player that a lot of you will know about, and it won't be the end of Liverpool's transfer window. And I don't think Liverpool are that far off. I mean, it was a shockingly bad season for them last year, but I don't think they're that far off. You've still got the right manager. I said this back in January. There was a lot of people saying maybe it's time for Klopp to go. And I said, it'll be time to go if Klopp wants it to go. He's never going to get sacked. And it's very similar to what Manchester United did, in the sense that what they need Klopp to do is rebuild a team like Sir Alex Ferguson used to. Nothing ever lasts forever. That Liverpool team did need some renovation, and it's almost like building a new Liverpool under Klopp, and it looks like he's willing to do that. And I think that can only be a positive for Liverpool, and it'll be interesting to see where Liverpool sit in next season. Arsenal were second last year, and they've been very ambitious in the transfer window to make sure that they are the team that competes with Manchester City. Liverpool are going to have a bloody good go at doing it as well now, by the looks of it. My fear for next season, and this is not a preview of the Premier League season next year, it's way too early. My fear next year is Man City will be Man City and they'll post over 90 points. Arsenal, Liverpool, and maybe another, could be Newcastle, could be United, could be Chelsea, they fight it out with each other and just take points off each other, and actually the gap for Man City becomes bigger because everyone else is fighting with each other. We'll have to see. Anyway, smash a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and let us know what your thoughts are on this latest Liverpool signing.